This evening, after another day of wild weather, will we see more rain? Drenching downpours soak some, blinding rain swamps streets and even floods some basements. Storm Team 4 tracking what is next for us. Gun violence against teenagers in the city, rattling the city once again. One teen shot and killed in Brooklyn, the bullet not meant for him, and 3 teenagers shot in Times Square. The new clue about the suspect in that. The intensifying search for clues in the Gilgo Beach murders. Police return to the suspect's home after finding an arsenal of weapons, they say, and what else they're looking for tonight. Is it a bombshell twist in the murder of rap icon Tupac Shakur? A new search now linked to the Harlem rapper's shooting nearly 30 years ago. And lessons from a birder. Christian Cooper takes his life back after a viral encounter in Central Park almost ruined it. What he says all of us can learn from that moment 3 years ago. We're glad you're with us at 7 o'clock. I'm David Ushery. Storm Team 4 once again scanning the skies for another chance of heavy rain and flash flooding after slow-moving storms dumped heavy rain on some of us today. Cell phone video shows how quickly some roads flooded in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Drift Street looked more like a creek with several vehicles underwater. The city got hit as well. Ominous clouds covered the skyline around noontime, made it seem like nighttime. And listen to how the thunder was at one point today.
As long as I'm the chair.
That thunderous clap interrupted a news conference by the MTA chair, Jan Lieber. So, we're going to see any more thunderstorms. Storm Team 4's Janice Huff's going to let us know now. Janice?
Well, David, most areas are drying out now, but there are a few exceptions on our radar network where we see some isolated downpours. One area of main concern has been around New Paltz, Wallkill, stretching back down towards Middletown. A line of thunderstorms with some heavy rain. There are some flood advisories still in effect for this area. The rain's been coming down at the rate of maybe 1 to 2 inches per hour there. So there's been some minor roadway flooding. This storm moving over Rumson and Sandy Hook. It's a small one. That'll move out into the water pretty soon, but they've had some flooding reports near Monmouth Beach and a few other locations as well across New Jersey, and some wind damage reports or wind gusts at Bridgeport Airport, at Captree State Park, and Hazlitt has seen some street flooding today. That was earlier this afternoon with a cell that moved over you. Now tonight it does dry out for all of us over the next few hours. Temperatures drop into the 60s and 70s, even some upper 50s north and west tonight. It should be a little less humid tomorrow with highs in the 80s, but there's still an isolated chance of a few storms popping up in the afternoon. I'll let you know when there's better weather coming our way in a few minutes. Back to you.
See you then, Janice. Thank you. Tonight, the decade-long investigation into the murders at Gilgo Beach showing no signs of stopping anytime soon after the arrest of the suspected serial killer in at least some of the murders. Police returned to the home of Rex Heuermann today to look for more evidence after they say they removed more than 200 weapons from his house. Heuermann facing murder charges in the deaths of Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello, and he's a suspect in the murder of a 4th woman. News 4's Pezzi Cheng reports on what police are looking for inside Heuermann's home.
A team of investigators continue to remove items from Rex Heuermann's Massapequa Park home.
I've always passed the house, and everyone always knew it was a weird house to be near.
This woman lives down the street from Heuermann. She didn't know him, but she was aware of the Gilgo Beach murders.
My parents didn't let me go to Gilgo Beach. Like at night, they were like, you're a female, you're not going there alone, especially like even with friends, like after everything that happened, and he lived down the block from us. So I think it's kind of crazy.
Heuermann now charged with murdering 3 women, all escorts. He's a suspect in a 4th murder. Police now conducting simultaneous searches here in Massapequa Park, at the storage sheds in Amityville, and at a Heuermann family property in South Carolina, where police towed away an older model Chevy Avalanche, believed to have linked him to Amber Costello's death.
Heuermann fits my original profile almost to a T.
In 2011, criminologist Scott Bond, who has studied other serial killers, came up with a profile of the Gilgo Beach suspect that was very similar to Heuermann. Married, well-educated, and lives near where the bodies were found.
They can be daddy one minute and seemingly the doting father or the consummate professional in their career, and then the next minute they are a torturing, cruel, killing machine.
Bond says investigators are looking for trophies, mementos like jewelry, clothing, pictures of the alleged killer's victims, and any evidence that can tie him to other murders.
We always think about the victims, and to find out that it was so close and it's somebody that's living amongst us that we could be passing by at the store, the local supermarket and things like that, it's a little shocking for us. So.
Now at both locations, we've seen them take out mirrors, pieces of furniture. We're not exactly sure what they are looking for, but we do know that the only thing Suffolk Police will confirm is that they've removed 200 guns from a vault inside Hewerman's home. Reporting from Massapequa Park, Paisy Cheng. David, back to you.
Okay, Paisy, with the developments today. A 15-year-old boy who was shot in the back in Brooklyn yesterday has died. This happened on 20th Avenue near 62nd Street in Bensonhurst just after 1 in the afternoon. Witnesses say they heard gunshots, then saw a group of young people scattering toward a subway station. The victim is identified as Foradun Malono. Today, police told us he was not the intended target, and the gunman has not been caught. Right now, police are looking for this man. They say shot 3 teenagers in Times Square last night. Police say there was some sort of a fight between 2 groups, and then 8 shots were fired. One group was riding city bikes. The other group came from the subway. A 15, 16, and 17-year-old, all injured, all expected to survive. Tonight, millions of dollars in relief will soon flow to victims of the deadly flash flood disaster in the Hudson Valley. And the money can't come soon enough for homeowners who survived historic rainfall that triggered flash flooding, roads turning into rivers in Highland Falls. The flash floods caught drivers off guard, shoved vehicles into each other, and 1 woman died while trying to escape. The cleanup could cost more than $100 million. FEMA toured the damage today, and News 4's Mark Santia reports on the aid on the way to survivors.
It's not water, but money flooding into parts of Orange County hit hard by floods.
Grants of up to $50,000 will be awarded, again, to cover emergency repairs that threaten safe living.
The need here in Highland Falls, staggering.
I have about 1,000 houses that have, or structures that have significant damage from water, and people are living in right now. I have 20 that are red flag, which means they should be demoed.
Keep hope alive, and you got to have faith that something's going to come through.
Amy Esty and her family have one of those red tags on their home. Adding insult to injury, Amy just heard back from the insurance company.
They denied everything. I had a couple conversations with the agent. He took it to his superiors too. They said there's nothing they can do, and we're not covered for anything, and we received the denial in the mail. That was a bit of a hit.
Amy is not alone and says that is why state money is so crucial in this community.
Something's better than nothing. I'm always gonna kind of try and stay on the positive side of it.
Also weighing on New Yorkers here, a new development with drinkable water.
We just left an emergency management meeting at my office with the health commissioner. She is very concerned about the water in the wells. Every one of them, for the most part, has been contaminated.
We had 85 wells tested right here in this town. Most of them came back with E. coli. We still need potable water brought in here.
Volunteers are trying to collect and hand out bottled water throughout the community as crews try to fix the problem. In Highland Falls, New York, I'm Mark Santia. David, back to you.
And we thank Mark for reporting on that situation. New developments after an I-team investigation showed you how a year of calls to 911 failed to produce relief from a nightmare neighbor in Brooklyn. Black tenants in the Ebbetsfield apartments subjected to butcher knives, racist threats, and police say possibly even a fatal fire. The neighbor still lives there, and tonight you'll see police are paying closer attention. We've learned the Brooklyn District Attorney has opened a new hate crimes investigation. This after our Melissa Russo started asking why that hadn't happened already.
A crime investigation by the Brooklyn DA is moving forward. The arson and homicide investigation still appears stalled. Melissa Russo, News 4 New York.
We are following several other developing stories tonight. The new search linked to the murder of rapper Tupac Shakur nearly 30 years after his death. New tonight, police in Las Vegas confirmed they served a search warrant linked to the murder of legendary rapper Tupac Shakur. Officers say they launched a search in the suburb of Henderson yesterday. Investigators will not say what they were looking for. Tupac was from Harlem and one of the biggest rappers of the 1990s. He was killed in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas in 1996. He was 25 years old. His murders remain unsolved. No one ever charged. Tomorrow, some new rules involving marijuana are expected to be approved in New York State. Licensed cannabis distributors hope the rules will allow them to sell weed at pop-up marijuana trade shows, concerts, and festivals if approved. But gummy bears and other edibles would not be able to be consumed at the events. Governor Hochul has been criticized for the slow rollout of the state's legal cannabis program. There are just 20 licensed dispensaries open across the state. Next tonight, baggage blues. A local airport tops the list as the worst place for losing your luggage. According to a new report, 2 of the top 10 airports in the nation for lost luggage are right here in the tri-state, and a third is not far behind. According to the web platform Forbes Advisor, Kennedy Airport tops the list when it comes to lost and damaged luggage. Newark Liberty ranks 8th. Westchester County Airport not far behind, tied for 13th worst. Forbes Advisor says it used data from the TSA and the U.S. Transportation Department. We reached out to all 3 airports for a response, but we have not heard back. Storm Team 4 Janice Huff back with us. People really looking for a break from really was some intense rain.
Yeah, we're still seeing it out there right now, David. We actually have a flash flood warning that was issued. You might remember over the last couple of hours we've been talking about this area of rain near New Paltz. Well, yes, a flash flood warning has been issued for that area because they're seeing the same line just set up here with the showers continuing over the same areas. That's always a problem when the line doesn't move. And so Dutchess and Ulster counties, particularly around Hyde Park, New Paltz, and Poughkeepsie, stretching all the way back down into northern Orange County. This is the area of concern right now. The rainfall so far has been anywhere from look, this is just updated, 3.1 inches estimated by radar just north of Wallkill. So we'll keep you posted on that. But if you live in that area, please make sure you're on higher ground as that storm continues. We've got some light showers moving off of Sandy Hook towards Lido Beach and maybe Freeport. Nothing major there. That's really up around the Poughkeepsie area and back towards New Paltz is the area that we're watching right now in the tri-state in terms of flash flooding. It is quiet everywhere else, including here at 30 Rock. The plaza is dry. The temperature 79 degrees. It's a little on the muggy side. We'll stay in the low to mid 70s for the rest of this evening and even to overnight. But north and west, you will cool down into the 50s tonight. And you'll dry out eventually. We expect that by midnight. It does start out a little muggy in the morning, cloudy in spots. We are anticipating some pop-up random showers again tomorrow, maybe some downpours across central and northern New Jersey, but it won't happen everywhere, just like today. But if a shower starts to develop in your area, just know that there could be flash flooding with it if it doesn't move out quickly. 85 for the high tomorrow. Thursday is nice at 86. Friday's even stormier than what we're expecting tomorrow or even today. But then by the weekend, things are drying out. This low pressure area and the cold front will slide through. High pressure comes in to take its place, and that means some sunny, dry weather for a stretch, like 3 days. Nice, right? And for the weekend, too. Highs in the 70s up around Monticello, 80s in the city, Islip and Bridgeport, down the Jersey Shore. We were going to talk about the tropics. It's Tropical Storm Dawn in the middle of the Atlantic. That storm might head towards Newfoundland and may curve off to the east before it makes landfall. That's over the next several days. 72 our low tonight, drying out. 85 tomorrow. Could see some storms in the area again, but not on Thursday. 86. Friday, more storms, 83. But look at Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Less humid, sunny. Highs will be in the 80s. The 90s return next week, David. Back to you.
Okay, we'll see him. Thank you, Janice. When we come back, Christian Cooper and how he's using viral fame for good. Finally tonight, our conversation with Christian Cooper, who was accused of something he didn't do while bird watching in Central Park 3 years ago. The video went viral. He's turned a bad experience into a positive with a new book and TV show about his passion, birds.
You'll hear it as you walk through here. You hear, old Sam, Peabody, 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 old Sam, Peabody.
On a hazy day in Tompkins Square Park, Christian Cooper can clearly see a promising future.
So, you know, like this guy is like in my lap when I use these binoculars.
Not only for this fledgling red-tailed hawk.
Oh, wow. He's a handsome bird.
But also for his true passion.
I'm Christian Cooper, and I am a birder.
A new TV series produced by Nat Geo Wild has launched. Extraordinary Birder allows Cooper to, as he often says, preach the gospel of birding.
I'm here in El Yunque, so I've come to the big island of Hawaii. And what waterway are we on here? We are on the Alabama River Waterway.
It's a platform he couldn't have imagined. Until 3 years ago, Cooper would mostly keep his focus on the birds, especially the 200 or so species in Central Park. But then,
I'm sorry, I'm in the ramble, and there is a man, African American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog.
I look back on that incident, and there is one thing that's super important, which is that it's not about, the people involved. It's about the racial bias that was revealed in that moment and how that racial bias permeates our culture. But what's important is not, some one individual in the park and what they did, but it's how that racial bias infects our society in ways that cause a police officer later that same day in Minneapolis to think that it's okay for him to kneel on a black man's neck until that person is dead. I will take this opportunity, as I keep saying, if people are going to shove cameras and microphones in my face, I will take that opportunity to say what I think needs to be said and get that message out there. Hi. You are a magnificent creature.
And so, from a viral moment, Cooper seized the moment to highlight his commitment to LGBTQ rights, social justice, and what brought him to Central Park in the first place, birding.
This is their natural habitat. That's just the way the world works. Through a twist of fate, people heard, about me, and that gave me a chance to do the things I had been doing before, but keep doing them on a bigger scale and to a wider audience.
You can watch Extraordinary Birder on Disney+. All episodes are out now, and Christian's book, Better Living Through Birding, is out now. We'll live it there at 7. Access Hollywood is next. Natalie and I will see you here on News 4 New York at 11. Have a pleasant evening.